What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. I'm your host, Alpha Dog Bets, back with my guy, JD. We missed you, brother. Welcome back. JD from Line Movers is here today, as well as Ben from We Beat the Spread. But JD, I have to go to you. It's been a while since I haven't spoken to you like every day, bro. How have you been? Welcome back to the show.
Good, man. Yeah, man. Everything's been going very, very well. Plays have been running super hot. Yeah, man. So everything is great.
We love to hear that. I know I've been killing the MLB playoffs myself, so I'm definitely excited to dive in, go over the winners with the boys today. Ben, how are you today? Loving the outfit. The tailor-made hat is on point. How are you?
Yeah, ready to go golf. No, I'm just kidding. But I do love TaylorMade. It's weird to be here on a Wednesday. I'm not sure last time I was here on a Wednesday. I think I might have one other time, but it feels a little off for me. But you know what? We're going to fight through it.
You know, I could speak for myself and JD. We appreciate you stepping up this week, being here for the people, giving out the winners. So we had to get you back on. The people have been asking for Ben's plays because you've been on fire. So we had to have you on Wednesday this week. Over to the chat before we get rolling. We have Nick here. Nick is saying happy Wednesday, fellas. Huge day from JD yesterday. It's a great point, Nick. All you guys have to do is tap into the Moneyball Metrics Discord. Come have some fun. It's free to join. Come win with the boys and get a ton of plays and join the best community out there. Fellas, we have an amazing 4-game slate today. Every single series is getting down to the thick of it. They're all close, and I'm excited to dive in. You guys ready to jump into the first game we have on the slate?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
Let's do it, gentlemen. First game we're going over today is going to be the Guardians-Tigers. This one is the early game. Starts at 3:08 Eastern is the first pitch. Pitching for the Guardians is Alex Cobb. The series is currently 1-1. Pitching for the Tigers is Kiter Montero. Ben, we're going to start with you. What do you like in this Guardians-Tigers game? I know that on Monday we came on here. We gave the people the under. That was one of the easiest plays both of us have ever hit. So I'm happy about that. We've read this series well. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm glad that under was as easy as it sort of looked with the low total that low, but I didn't expect it to be quite that easy. I didn't think the Guardians were going to get shut out. So now we have 2 shutouts in the series, 1 from each team. It feels like we're kind of get an offensive explosion at some point from both teams. Game 1 technically went over. It was at 6.5. It ended with 7 runs, but there was still a shutout on the one side. So I just feel like we're due for kind of one of those big games like we saw last night with the Dodgers and Padres, like one of those kind of style games, just offensive explosion. And to be fair, this is probably the worst starting pitching matchup you could ask for it because you had really good pitchers in game 1. And then, of course, the Cy Young winner yesterday. So it's not that surprising that they were low scoring, but I would say that this is the most conducive game of the series for runs if we're looking at it. So I'm not really big on a side here. Alex Cobb, we haven't really seen him enough this season for me to kind of lean one way or another. But, you know, just saying that, how can you really go off? His 3 starts have looked good, but how can you really judge him completely off of 3 starts? So it's kind of a toss-up for me on the side here, but I do think we're going to see some runs, and it's sitting at 7 even. The -110. So I think I'm going to go over 7 here.
I like that a lot. And guys, with Kiter Montero, he really hasn't given a lot of distance. His last game was on the 5th of this month against Cleveland when they lost 7-0. He only pitched 2 innings. He's really only given them 2-3 innings in his last 4 or 5 starts. So we're probably looking at a mostly bullpen game for this Tigers team. And that is conducive for a lot of runs, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I see it exactly like you do, Ben. So we're either going to be really happy or really upset. But I think we're going to have a lot of runs in this game. This series isn't going to be one team dominating every single game. This is going to be a competitive series, and this game is the epitome of a competitive game. You take a look at ESPN's prediction matchup, and they have this one as pretty much a 50-50 split of who they think is going to win. The line currently has this as a -110 on each side, so it's a true toss-up. I think we see runs. Give me the over 7, one of my favorite plays of the day. JD, you're back. The people are here for the plays. What do you got?
Yes, I'm back, and sorry for this game, guys. I have absolutely nothing. For me, I feel like I have a really good read, but just not on this game. This one actually, just like Ben said, Cobb has had 3 starts. That's not enough for me to really know actually like what actually he's going to be. Just the whole feel of actually this game here. I really don't have a read. Model has the Guardians favored, very, very small though. But it's just not enough for actually me. So this one I'm actually going to pass.
You know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I have to do it. I haven't said it in a while. Guys, sometimes the best bet you can make on a game is no bet. JD's model has this as a slight Guardians favorite. I believe this is a slight Tigers lean because they're home, but I'm much more comfortable on the over. I respect JD's decision, though, to not play this game. We have a ton of other games to get over. And Jake, in the comments, good news, brother. We are going over your Phillies right now. So, fellas, we're going to dive into the second game we have on the slate, which is going to be the Phillies taking on the Mets. Guys, before we get into this game, do the Mets feel like the team of destiny this year? They've had so many big moments, so many clutch hits. Pete Alonso, the guy who couldn't hit a lick in the regular season on a contract year, has stepped up. That's his second homer of the postseason, I believe, last night. This team is hitting. They're playing on all cylinders right now. Do we think that the Mets feel like the team of destiny? JD, what do you think?
I mean, you get that feeling, yes. But as far as actually if they make the actual next round, I actually just don't see them going past that, though. But, yeah, it just seems like they're all the time actually, like, late in the game or something, just actually getting that actually big hit just from, like someone there. But yeah.
Someone you don't expect, right? Like a Mark Vientos hitting multiple homers, a Pete Alonso who hasn't been doing it in the regular season. The guys on their team that you expected to maybe struggle a bit have been the ones stepping up. This Mets team, to me, definitely feels like they could be a team of destiny. We've said it all year long. We've said it for the playoffs as well. You just have to get hot at the right time. And this team is hitting 1 through 9 in the lineup. They're getting their bats going. Kind of the opposite of my Yankees, who can't hit for crap right now. This Mets team is hitting on all cylinders. They're playing great. Ben, do you think that they feel like they're the team of destiny right now?
Oh, boy. I kind of do. And I said it about the Tigers when we were taking them in the wild card and stuff. Like, it really is just about getting hot at the right time. You can almost kind of throw the regular season out the window. Not entirely, because, it still comes down. It's 162 games. Like, the regular season MLB does give you a good picture. But there was no clear-cut kind of number one team in any, in any division this year. So I really think that it is just getting hot at the right time, and it was pretty wide open this year. Even in the NL, where you have the Dodgers and the Phillies and the Padres, like it still feels wide open just because no team has looked just completely, utterly dominant like we've had in some years. So the Mets could absolutely do it this year, and they are absolutely getting hot at the right time. And unfortunately, I do think, unfortunately for the Phillies fans in here, I do think the Mets actually at least win this game on the first 5 innings. I'm not going to go full game here. Taking first 5, minus 125. Honestly, Ranger Suarez is kind of limping into the postseason, huh? I mean, he hasn't had a start yet in the postseason, so he's coming in for his first start. He had a 6 ERA to end September. He didn't pitch that much in August. He had a 5 ERA in August. He only pitched 3 times in July, had a 6.61. This is a guy that started the season with a 0.75 ERA in April and then a 2.32 in May. Like, he was red hot and maybe a front runner for the Cy Young, at least in contention very early in the year. And then all of a sudden, it's just like he kind of had a late season collapse. On the other side, Jose Quintana, the important thing here for Quintana is he's a lefty. And the Phillies coming down the last stretch of the year did not do too good against lefties. They were actually 20th in MLB, hitting only 224 over the last month of the season against lefties. And we just saw it last night. Manaea, lefty pitcher who some people thought, some of those hitters might get to him. They had a lot of the hitters in the Phillies lineup had good numbers off Manaea coming into last night's game. And they just didn't look like they had it against him. I don't know if it was that arm angle that they were talking about or what. But the fact that we get another lefty here with Quintana, I actually really like that for the Mets, which is why I'm mainly going with this first 5 here. And one of the most important things for Bryce Harper, who's been one of the hottest postseason hitters, he's only 4 for 21 off Quintana in his career, hitting 190. That's very important that he has very good numbers against him because you're going to shut down one of the best bats. It's been probably their best postseason guy. So I absolutely love the Mets first 5 in this spot. It's my favorite play today by far.
I respect that. Ben, you jumped the gun a little bit. All I was asking was if you feel that this team was the Cinderella, the one that felt like, they were going to be the one that has all the juice right now. But to go specifically into this game, there's a lot of question marks right now. It's currently listed that Ranger Suarez is going to start the game, but there are rumors swirling everywhere. You can't turn ESPN on today and not hear that Wheeler may be the guy who gets the nod tonight. That, to me, would be an absolutely massive mistake. It's shown statistically over history, if you're pitching on 4 days short notice, short rest, you do not have a good game. These guys typically get killed when they go on short rest. Ranger Suarez, to me, has been decent all year long. I know he finished the year with a 3.4 ERA. He didn't do great towards the end of the year, losing his final 3 starts, giving up 6 runs earned, 2 runs earned, and 3 runs each one of his final games. However, I do think this Mets team is the team of destiny right now. I do think they are the team that's going to make it out of the NL. There's just something about this team right now, how hot they are, how well they've been pitching. Guys you did not expect to do things in big moments that they are. I feel that this Mets team is going to make a run, and I think they win this game rather easily. I'm sorry, Jake. I know you're a big Phillies fan in the comments, but I do think the Mets are going to be able to get this one. I'm taking them on the money line at a -115. Quintana's done a good job himself. I expect this Mets team to continue strong and their bats to continue hitting. JD, what do you like?
And this is my favorite play, and Ben literally said my whole notes here. Mets on the first 5, yes. That is actually the play. Let's see if there's anything that Ben didn't say. As far as Quintana goes, really the past actually couple months, he's actually been pitching well. The Mets have won 4 out of his past 5 starts. He's been keeping the ball on the ground, which is a very big key. He actually has not allowed an actual home run since August 20th. And then as far as the Phillies bats go, where actually have they gone? Because they've just not been doing well here. And then you have Ranger. Well, we think it's going to be him. The other side, just like Ben said, he was like Cy Young. I mean, his numbers were crazy. And he has come back to earth hard. Very hard. And, I have this Mets first 5 priced at -155. This is by far my favorite play of the day. Clients got it at the Mets first 5 on the money line at -105. It has moved up a little bit since. But I actually like that up until, the -125 range or so.
For sure. And one more thing to point out, one of the final starts of the year for Ranger Suarez on September 21st, so his second to last start was against this Mets team. The Mets did rock him. The Mets did win the game 6-3. So the last time he pitched against the Mets did not go too well for Ranger Suarez. So I think all 3 of us have a couple different angles on this game, but we're all leaning the Mets side in some form or another. We'll go over to Footy in the comments. I see Footy took the Padres at +1200. I remember when you did take that. The CLV you got on that is fantastic, +325. To me, I think either the Mets or the Padres are winning the World Series. I do think it is going to be the team out of the NL. And don't worry, Footy. Yes, we are going to the Yankees next. Speaking about teams that cannot hit. Speaking of teams that do this every effing postseason,
We're getting the meltdown.
where Aaron Judge leads baseball history in the highest strikeout rate for any player in the postseason. We're talking about the New York Yankees. I came on here Monday. I'm taking it on the chin. Don't worry, Ben. I said I would and gave out the Yankees money line at a stupid -145 price. Bad bet on my end. They got absolutely smacked by the Royals, but today is a new day. They are in Kansas City taking on the Royals, and pitching for the Yanks is going to be Clark Schmidt. He's going up against Seth Lugo. Lugo's the only one who has experience this postseason. He's 0-0 with a 2.0 ERA in 4 1/3 innings of work. He gave up 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 homer, and had 6 Ks. So he was decent in his first start. Ben, I'm going to go over to you. What do you like in this Royals-Yanks game?
I have looked at this game quite a bit, and I can get just absolutely no read on the side. As my best friend Alpha says, if there's no I forget you're saying, I don't know. Sometimes the best play in the game is no play.
That's
I
it.
don't have no play. It's just no play on the side because I'm going to take Seth Lugo over 4.5 strikeouts at +120.
Oh, fuck
Glad
you.
you brought up the Aaron Judge thing. He had 3 strikeouts in game 1. Just this team in general, it seems like they're going for the home run or bust kind of swing. That's kind of what the Yankees are usually. I feel like I mean, they're not really.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, they're not usually like the get on base run out. Like the Royals and Yankees hit so differently. The Royals are like, let's just put it in play. Let's get on base. Let's use our really fast base runners and steal some bags, move them around, that kind of thing. You have Bobby Witt, one of the fastest runners in baseball right now. The Yankees feel like they're swinging for home runs all the time. which I don't blame them. Like, I mean, they have the name the Bronx Bombers for a reason. They hit in a good park for home runs. Like, it's not a bad style to play. It works for them. But just in this spot, I think it's good for taking strikeouts on Lugo because the Yankees actually have 32 strikeouts and 96 career at bats against him, a 30% strikeout rate. On top of that, over the last month of the year, they were striking out a 26% rate against right-handers, which is 7th highest. So all that leads up to, I think he can get 5 today, and you're getting plus money. You're getting a lot of plus money on these strikeout props in the postseason, and I love the fact that we're getting plus 120 here. Because if it was juiced, I'd be like, but you're getting good plus money on this one. So over 4.5 strikeouts.
Yeah, I'm going to do the thing.
Uh-oh.
Where I'm not betting on this game. It's sometimes the best play you can make on a game is not betting it. I'm going to sit back as a New York Yankees fan. I'm going to have my little slice of pizza with me. I'm going to have my beer on the other side. I'm going to be dialed in, and I'm going to watch Judge probably strike out 5 times and root for my Yankees. So tonight, I'm definitely not playing anything on this game. As a Yankees fan, I would not touch this game with Clark Schmidt pitching. I truly believe that this Yankees-Royals series is going to go 5 games. They should split in Kansas City like they did in the first 2 in New York. So if the Royals lose today, I probably would take them tomorrow. If the Yankees lose today, I would probably take the Royals tomorrow. So that's exactly what I would play. And that's how we're going to do it. JD?
Well, since y'all do not have a play, I guess I'm going to have to here. Give me the Yankees. As far as actually Clark Schmidt goes, his actual home road splits are like serious. And as far as on the road, he's done very well. He has an actual ERA of actually 1.39.
Yep.
And yeah, his actual home ERA I believe is 5 points something there.
Yep.
But then you have Lugo, and like he's like been like pitching well. But if you look at just his home starts, and just his last 7 home starts, he really has not been pitching well. He has an actual ERA of 5.06. Then also just something that I actually looked at here, the Royals have actually been on the road now for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So this is going to be their first home game back. And their last home stand that they had, they actually got swept. They got swept by the Tigers and they got swept by the Giants. So for me, I actually have the Yankees favorite here. I have the line at minus 139. So right now I can see the Yankees money line at a minus 109. So yeah.
All right, I'm back in JD. Let's go, and screw you, Ben. Nobody cares about your stupid strikeout prop on the Yankees losing. Nobody wants to hear that. But realistically, guys, this Royals team is a significantly better home team. This Yankees team performed better on the road, so it'll be very interesting to see which one of those trends continues here. It should be a good game either way. Let's keep it moving, fellas. We have 1 game left to break down. We have just over 600 people here. We appreciate every single one of you. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. We are here to answer any questions. And remember, get in the MoneyBall Metrics Discord, guys. It's free to join. There's a ton of free plays. Best community out there. Go to the MoneyBall Metrics X, Twitter, Bluebird, whatever the hell you call the app. Go there. Get inside the Discord. Come have some fun with us. Guys, let's move to the next game and final one we're breaking down, which is going to be the Dodgers taking on the Padres. And this Padres team has looked scary at home. Coming into this game, the Dodgers have yet to announce a pitcher. Pitching for the Padres is going to be Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is the one guy that did not have a great game for this Padres team. He has a 13.5 playoff ERA. He went 3 in the 3rd inning, allowed 6 hits, had 2 walks, and allowed a homer, so he did not do well. But this Padres team feels eerily similar to this Mets team right now. Are they going to be able to get it done tonight? JD, we haven't started with you. What do you like?
Yeah, tonight's game, for the Dodgers, it's looking like it's going to be a bullpen game. If you've been watching the show for the past couple months, Dodgers bullpen, I do not think they're actually good.
Agreed.
They actually did come in last night and actually do well. But actually just like overall, I just do not like them whatsoever. I do think that Landon Knack is probably going to go for probably the bulk of actually anything here. The Padres, they have seen him and they have hit him. So it doesn't matter really like who goes for them. If either like he goes for like a for an actual bulk portion, or if it's just a straight, just really an actual bullpen game the whole entire way. I do think the Padres are going to score runs. Then you do have Cease. Cease pitched well for actually most of the year. His actually form right at the end of the year was actually not that great though. The kicker really for me here is this will be Cease's third straight start versus the Dodgers. To me, that is rough. That just sounds like a tough night. So the Dodgers, I think are definitely going to score here. Padres, I also think are definitely going to score here. The over has actually hit in this series and actually every game.
Easily,
yes, I am actually all actually over it here. I gave it out at 7.5. I see it's moving up to 8 at most books. Looks like you can still find a 7.5 at 2 or 3 books though. So
yep. And it's juiced on the under if it's at 8. I definitely understand why you would be going in that direction. When you take a look at how the series has gone, the first game had 12 runs, the second game had 12 runs, and then yesterday's game had 11 runs. So we're seeing a minimum of 10 runs in every game. I know you said you wouldn't be entirely comfortable with Dylan Cease going tonight, but I'm even more uncomfortable backing a Dodgers team where you don't know who the hell is pitching for them, who's going to be coming out next out of the bullpen. And you've said it all year long. This Dodgers team has got smacked around in the pitching. Their starters have not lived up to the potential this year. Their bullpen has been a disaster. This is a big game for this Dodgers team. And Footy put it perfectly. I'll put it on the screen. The Dodgers are announcing it's a bullpen game after they spent $1 billion this offseason. It's crazy how bad their pitching has been in the state of their pitching staff when they've spent all that money, but here we are for that Dodgers team. I love the over that you're going with. I feel a little bit more comfortable in taking the Padres straight up, so my official play is going to be the Padres at minus 130. I do think that they are going to win this one rather easily. I think the Dodgers are a little mentally defeated. I know Freddie Freeman got banged up on his ankle yesterday. He couldn't really move. He got pulled for a pinch runner. I think this Padres team has the juice. They've been great. And when you look at how these teams have done against each other this season, the regular season series ended 8-5 for San Diego. The playoff series is currently 2-1. So that means overall in the year, they're 10-6 against this team. They've seen each other a million times. They know what the other team is going to do. And I really do think that this Padres team is the better, more complete team. JD, we talk about it all the time when they upgraded their bullpen at the trade deadline. That was a massive move for this Padres team. A lot of teams struggle with their bullpen right now, and you know who isn't struggling in the bullpen? That's the Padres, who are shutting it down when they've gotten to the bullpen. So give me the Padres. I think they get it done tonight and close out this series, minus 130. Ben, before best bets, what you got?
Yeah, so just like I took all of JD's points on the Phillies-Mets game, he just did the exact same thing to me because I have the exact same play as him. Pretty much all the points he was going to make. But I mean, I do just want to say, because this is supposed to be a bullpen game, yesterday, I feel like the Dodgers have to be deflated, right? Because you almost come back, and that was a weird game. It ended 6-5. All 11 runs came in the first 3 innings. The final 6 innings didn't have a single run. And that's because once the Dodgers, I mean, they did that in-game interview with Dave Roberts, and he's like, we're not going to wave the white flag. So he used a lot of his good bullpen arms yesterday.
Yep.
That probably won't be available today. They used Michael Kopech, who's been killing it for them in the bullpen. 1.07 ERA this year. Like, he's been killing it. They used Daniel Hudson, who had a sub-3 ERA out of the bullpen. Anthony Banda. You're going to have to pitch probably Michael Grove today, maybe Eduardo Rodriguez, who both have really struggled this season. They do have Vesia and Brazier, but at the end of the day, you just don't. He kind of sold out, it felt like yesterday. Like, we have to come back. We can't go down 2-1. And at the same time, if you told me that Mookie Betts would break his bad postseason run, hit a home run, and there would be a grand slam from the Dodgers and they still lost, like, that has to be a deflating feeling. Now they have to win a few games in a row here, a few elimination games, and they kind of pulled out yesterday with the bullpen. And now you don't have a starting pitcher. You're going to have to pitch a bullpen game, it looks like. So this is really just worst case scenario. Dodgers backs are against the wall. It's like, what are they going to look like tonight? I do think they will score some runs because they've looked so good off Cease. They just lit him up for 5 runs in game 1. And now Cease has a quick turnaround. We were just talking about in the Phillies game how you don't necessarily want to, you don't think they should force Wheeler because that's going to be a short turnaround. Same exact situation here. Like, Cease is a good arm, but it's like he just got beaten game 1. I understand he wants to bounce back and everything, but he's going to have a very short turnaround, and that doesn't typically go well for starters. And as JD pointed out, 3rd start in a row against these Dodgers who are already familiar off him. They're hitting 270 off him. So all signs are pointing to runs in this game. The Padres should continue to light up that bullpen, and Cease, I think should struggle again against this Dodgers lineup. So over 8, I do think is the best play. We've seen a ton of runs in this series. I don't see why it would stop tonight.
I like it. Well, fellas, that's going to do it for the breakdown of the show. Actually, we do have one more question. I'm not going to go into best bets until we get to Joe. Joe, we appreciate you. You're commenting every day in the show. So when Joe puts a question in there, you know that we're going to get to it. How do we feel about the Mets' first 5 team total over 1.5? It's juiced at -140. Seems trappy. I'm going to go to JD because you're the first 5 expert. You're the king of the first 5. What do you think?
I actually do like that. As long as it is Ranger. As long as he is out there, I do like that. I think that's actually good value, to be honest. I would play that up to, if at the 1.5 line, I would play that up to a -160. So
I feel similarly then as you do. I don't know if I'd play it all the way to -160, but I think right now at a -140, that's a ton of value. The Mets bats are hot. We said it about 90 times on this show. We seem to say that every time we get on the camera and talk about these Mets. So their bats should continue to hold. I think they will get some run. And if they need some extra runs, they got a slugger right next to me in JD, ready to step up and crack the ball with that bat right there. Ben, how do you feel about the over 1.5 team total first 5?
I love it because Pete Alonso's getting hot now. I mean, like, he's having himself quite a bit. Like, everyone was crapping on him, including Frank the Tank. You know, everyone was just kind of on his.
He craps on everyone.
Yeah, everyone. And then he cracks a few home runs. So that's a really dangerous spot in the lineup because you have some good leadoff hitter. You have Lindor. You have a lot of guys up there that can get on in front of him. And then all of a sudden, this 1.5 could be boom. Lindor gets on, Alonso hits a home run. Like, I mean, it could be a quick one. So I really like that against Suarez, who really, really struggled coming down the later part of the season.
Perfect. Benny, I do see the comments here. What do we think about the Tigers-Guardians game? You lead Guardians. We are all on either the Tigers or the over, but you can go back and rewind. It's super easy to rewind and get back and watch how we broke down every single game. We appreciate you tuning in. Fellas, it's about that time. We've given out a breakdown on every single game, but you know what we do at this show at the end is we give you our MLB best bets. Ben, we're going to go to you. Do you have 1? Do you have 2? Do you have 3? You playing all 4? How many Yankees money line bets are you giving out for best bets?
Well, I'm not playing the Yankees money line, unfortunately. But I have 3. One that we didn't talk about, which is in a completely separate sport, which I'll talk about first. Jacksonville State -21.5. They are going to absolutely blow out New Mexico State, who has no offense, no quarterback, and frankly, not a very good defense. Didn't talk about that one at all, but it's one of my favorite plays tonight. Then 2 baseball bets. We are going to go with, of course, the one that I said I love the most on the board today during the show, Mets first 5 money line -115. And then my favorite prop of the day, which is that Lugo strikeouts over 4.5 at plus money at +120. Those are my 3 favorite plays today.
There we go. I'll jump into mine before we go over to JD. I'll give you guys a pick I have on every single game. I went over them all, but here they are again. Padres money line -130, Mets money line -115, and I am taking the Tigers and the over in that game as well. And guys, also take the Yankees money line. JD, what do you got for best bets?
Just like Ben said, as far as actually Jacksonville State tonight, I actually do like them. Also, I'm actually going to play it a little bit differently, though. Give me the Jacksonville State. Give me their team total over. I gave it out at 38.5. I'm not really sure where it's at the moment. But anything under actually like a 41 is actually good there. Then going over to the baseball games, favorite play of the day definitely has to be the Mets in the first 5. Give me the first 5 money line. Current line there is -115. Then let's go to the Dodgers and the Padres game. Let's see runs there. Like I said, I gave that out at 7.5. I see now it really is at actually 8 at most books. Looks like you can get a +100 there, though. So, yeah, I absolutely love that one, too.
Awesome. Well, fellas, we broke down the games. We gave out our best bets. And hopefully we will reap the rewards and cash all these bets tonight. We appreciate all the comments today. We love being able to answer any of your questions. We will be back, as always, tomorrow at noon to go over how we did, to break down more MLB, to break down some college football, and the Thursday night football game. We appreciate every single person yet again for tuning in. JD, say goodbye to the people.
Stay hot.
Let's stay hot. Ben, smile. Let's cash.